Hey guys, Matt here. So, Monday Night Raw, April 2nd, 2012, the night after WrestleMania. If you didn't see my WrestleMania review, or my predictions for that matter, go check them out. I got most of my predictions right, all but one in fact. So, Monday Night Raw starts out with John Laurinaitis talking to both Raw and SmackDown superstars, addressing them as the new GM of both shows. Now, half the locker room was happy with it, the other half not so much. He right away tells Santino that he's going to be defending his United States Championship against both Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. And then out of the crowd, CM Punk makes a remark and walks forward. And it's pretty much like, you may be the general manager of both shows, but you still suck. Not liking that, John Laurinaitis puts CM Punk in a championship match against Mark Henry. And then cuts to the ring, and the first person out is The Rock. So fans go crazy. They just kept cheering and cheering. The fans tonight started this chant where they would chant Daniel Bryan's "Yes, yes, yes," and they did that a lot throughout the night, and it worked. So Rock comes out, and he's basically being the bigger man and saying, you know, yeah, I beat you, John Cena, but he wasn't being, you know, a jerk about it. He was like, I beat you, you know, you gave it your all, you took The Rock to the limit, and I beat you. And I want to say thank you, because if it wasn't for you calling me out last year and our little feud, The Rock wouldn't have shown up at WrestleMania, wouldn't have performed in front of his fans, and shown that he's still passionate about the company. And then he said something that was really, really cool of him to say, and I'm glad he said it, because I was like, okay, The Rock won at WrestleMania, but is he going to stay? And The Rock said that he had a vision. And I don't remember the exact lines, but he did his, you know, trailblazing, eyebrow-raising thing, you know, his rhyme. And he says that he had a vision of once again becoming WWE Champion. And the fans went crazy. And you know the fans approved of it when they started cheering, yes, yes, yes. So The Rock wants to come back. Will he? I really hope he does. So I'm going to say yes. There were other moments on Raw discussing the aftermath of WrestleMania, and throughout the night they would show pictures before and coming back from commercial breaks. So I don't remember all the details. I know that they didn't cover everything that happened. Like, they didn't have any aftermath with Kelly or Beth Phoenix. Why would they? And then they didn't have any aftermath of Triple H, Undertaker. They're probably going to wait when they do that. And I was looking forward to tonight on Raw, because after WrestleMania, especially the night after, if not the SmackDown after, that's when big changes come. Whether it's something monumental that happens, or usually somebody returning, something was going to happen, and that's why I watched tonight. The next big thing that happened on Raw was Alex Riley was already in the ring, and then sooner than expected, Tensai comes out and makes his debut, or actually his return, because it's Prince Albert, or A-Train, just decked out with a bunch of tattoos and Japanese symbols and clothing and whatnot. And the problem I have with big guys that make debuts is it's like, if you've seen one, you've seen them all, because I remember Great Khali when he came out. I remember Heidenreich. I remember Umaga. And now Tensai. So you're going to have this guy that's going to beat up all the mid-carders, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this great force has come to the WWE. Who's going to be able to stop it? And the thing is, though, while it might be cool that they're causing all this destruction and mayhem, once they're beat, they just fade away. I remember Great Khali coming out and decimating The Undertaker. But that was 6 years ago, and what's he doing now? Oh, that's right, he's jobbing out to, like, and losing matches in, like, 2 moves. It's ridiculous. The one thing I did like about tonight's Raw was all the feuds that happened at WrestleMania, they didn't stop at WrestleMania. They're still going on. CM Punk had his championship match against Mark Henry, and Chris Jericho interfered when CM Punk was badly laid outside the ring. Chris Jericho came through the crowd, taunting CM Punk, saying, I told you I was going to be the reason you were going to start drinking, and pouring a bottle of Jack Daniels on him, and then smashes it on his head. And then when Cody Rhodes had a match, you had Big Show present this little Titantron video of Cody Rhodes losing. And then on SmackDown, you've got Kane facing Randy Orton again. And then the next big surprise, you had Sheamus come out, And most of the time, the crowd was really behind something. You could really tell when they would cheer, yes, yes, yes. But I guess a lot of fans didn't like the way Sheamus won the title because they were booing him. And he came out and said how it was good to be champion again. And then, second return, Alberto Del Rio comes out. And even though I didn't really like him, I liked how he came back. It was good to see him back again. And he comes out and basically tells Sheamus that he's his new challenger. And just like at WrestleMania, Alberto Del Rio gets distracted. Sheamus delivers the bro kick. And backstage, you see Daniel Bryan watching on a monitor. And when Josh Matthews goes to ask him what he's feeling and whatnot, Daniel Bryan doesn't answer. The fans go crazy, but unfortunately, that was all they got to see of Daniel Bryan that night. All throughout the night, ever since The Rock did his promo at the beginning of the show, they kept showing these images of John Cena sitting on the rampway after WrestleMania, after he lost his match. And they said, John Cena's reactions. And then they even started showing this little image of John Cena and The Rock in the ring, and they started saying John Cena calls out The Rock. And I was like, well, what's he going to do? Is he going to come out and explain himself, or is he going to call out John Cena? It looked like they had a mix-up there. And so John Cena finally comes out. And I got to say, this whole segment with John Cena, the way it started, even to the way it ended, I kind of felt bad for him. I mean, I'm not a John Cena fan by any means, but he came out, and it was like 95% boos. And he, tried to keep his composure. He walked out of the ring, and he wasn't all hyper and stuff. And the fans just were booing him. And John Cena's face was all calm. And it wasn't like he was about to cry, but it was just like he was thinking, oh man, I gotta really bring it on the mic tonight. And so John Cena starts to talk, and he tries to be the bigger man by saying, hey, The Rock beat me, but I'm gonna keep moving on. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep on going. And I don't remember all the quotes he said, but he gave you all these quotes. It seemed like he just looked out of a quote book and just memorized. And he tried to keep his motivation, tried to stay positive. The fans just kept booing him and booing him. And then the fans started cheering, we want Lesnar. And John Cena started to pay attention, but overall he just ignored it because he just kept talking about The Rock and kept saying how The Rock was the better man and how John Cena, even though he lost, is not going to give up, yada, yada, yada. It was all the same thing. And then it was like the WWE management was like, okay, the fans want it, let's just let the cat out of the bag early, let's let the animal loose. Brock Lesnar's music hits. And of course, the fans went crazy. I really liked the crowd tonight. They were really behind stuff, whether it was positive or negative, they let you know how they were feeling. And unfortunately, I follow MMA, so I knew that Brock Lesnar had retired back in December, as many of you I'm sure know. So this return wasn't as exciting as I wanted to be, but still, I was really, really thrilled to see him. One, because I knew the return of Brock Lesnar would kind of wean the WWE off of its PG rating, and Brock Lesnar's entrance music is one of my favorite entrance musics ever. So it was really cool to listen to. And then Brock Lesnar walks out. Granted, he does have to, start to work out a little bit, but still, he was big. And he walks out, and he walks on both sides of the stage and starts doing his little, his little bounce thing, and walks down the apron. Didn't jump on the apron, but it's okay. And gets in the ring. John Cena starts applauding, but it was funny because when Brock Lesnar first came out, John Cena had this look on his face like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God. And he tried to be excited for him, tried to be happy, and Brock Lesnar extends his hand and goes to shake John Cena's hand, and they shake hands, but it didn't last very long because Brock Lesnar pulls John Cena up and delivers an F5. And I got really excited when that happened because, one, John Cena just got F5'd, and two, for those of you that don't know, that weren't following wrestling back in the day, John Cena's finisher, the Attitude Adjustment, used to be called the FU. He called it the FU because Brock Lesnar took John Cena and F5'd him into the ring post, really injuring John Cena's knee. And so John Cena made this little Titantron video saying, Lesnar, you call your move the F5, well, mine's the FU. Hence, his finisher. Let's go down the line. First, you have the great one, The Rock, with his eyes set on a possible WWE Championship run in the future. Will it happen this year? Oh, I can wholly hope so. And then you have Tensai coming back, who's probably going to wreck the mid-card division until the WWE decides to put him in the ring and think he's good enough to be in there with the main eventers. And then you have Alberto Del Rio back in the title picture, which should be interesting now that John Laurinaitis is the general manager of both shows. And then you have the next big thing, Brock Lesnar making his return and taking out John Cena, of all people, first. So it begs the question, what are they going to do now? I mean, you had Kane come back, so I got to be keeping my eyes on him. I mean, all these guys and all these different wrestling matches you could put together, it's just going to be an awesome year for the WWE. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. I remember when that match happened many years ago. Will we see it again? I hope so. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot more interesting because both men have really grown, especially John Cena. He's matured a lot since their last encounter. So, did you watch Raw? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave a comment. Let me know. Till next time, guys. See ya.